Now, from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
A busy Thursday night at 6, including breaking news. The Norfolk Sheriff's Office now under federal investigation. Tonight, what we know about what the feds are looking for.
First, a horrifying scene for drivers on a tricky stretch of road when it's windy. A tractor trailer takes a tumble over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Tonight, trying to figure out what caused that plunge into the cold waters of the Chesapeake Bay. Good evening. We have a lot to get to tonight. First, a tragic end to a story we've been covering since midday. A
tractor trailer over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Despite rescue efforts, the driver of that truck dies. First, the view you'll only see from Chopper 10. This crash happened in the southbound lanes of the bridge, just a couple of miles from the eastern shore end. Just in the past few minutes, that driver was identified as 47-year-old Joseph Chen from Greenville, North Carolina. 10 on your side's Aaron Kelly now with more on what happened. Aaron?
Well, we are about 1 mile from the bridge tunnel. As you can see, it is very windy out here, just knocked over our light. And we talked to the Virginia Trucking Association earlier today. They told us they send their heartfelt condolences to everyone who knew this victim.
Tense moments on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel Thursday afternoon after a tractor trailer went over the southbound side in between the two spans. 10 on your side viewers captured this video as the rig drifted quickly in 5 to 7 foot waves. Chopper 10 was above the spot where the crash happened just before 12:30. Officials say a Navy MH-60 helicopter rescued the driver, but he died on the way to the hospital. Charles Lattimore of Chesapeake says he and about 30 other trucks on the eastern shore were given the go-ahead to cross before he learned of the crash on the radio. He was headed to Norfolk, but pulled over about a mile north of the bridge tunnel, worried his own truck would be too light.
When I knew he had went over, I knew I wasn't heavy enough, so I didn't take the chance.
He says he crosses the bridge tunnel about twice a week.
On a windy day, you can feel it, and it'll be pushing your trailer and your tractor to the left or right, whichever the wind is blowing, and you actually can feel it. It was a hurting feeling, and you know, I of course said a prayer for him, and just before I heard that he died, I was hoping he was going to make it.
Now, at the time of the crash, officials say there were not any wind restrictions on tractor trailers. The CBVT police will be investigating the cause of the crash. Meanwhile, crews are working on the bridge at the site where this happened to repair it there. We're now live at the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Aaron Kelly, 10 on your side.
Thank you, Aaron.
Well, more video from 10 on your side. Viewer Alyssa Garrett shows the truck in the Chesapeake Bay here. A scary scene for anyone going over that bridge today. Remember, if you see breaking news and it's safe to do so, shoot and send any pictures or video to report it at WAVY.com. Also tonight, breaking news from Norfolk. 10 on your side has learned that the city's sheriff's office is under investigation.
This involves the federal government, and the former Sheriff Bob McCabe is named in that subpoena handed to the department. Then on your side's Chris Horn has the paperwork. So, Chris, what's the deal here?
Well, Tom, the subpoena commands the Norfolk Sheriff's Department to produce records that involve transactions with Correct Care Solutions. CCS is a healthcare provider for the Norfolk jail. The demand for records dates back all the way to January 2004 and mentions CCS, the department, and Bob McCabe by name. It covers all sorts of transactions, any payments made in both directions between all three parties. They include expenses, gifts, and campaign contributions. Records show CCS and its executives donated at least $7,500 over the past 3 years to McCabe's campaigns for both sheriff and mayor. Subpoena also covers air travel, hotels, even the use of a condominium in Nashville. That is where CCS is headquartered. We reached out to Bob McCabe and CCS for comment. McCabe did not immediately return our calls. CCS, meanwhile, told us they are looking into the matter. We'll keep you posted on air and online at WAVY.com. Live in the newsroom, Chris Horn, 10 on your side.
Our other big story we've been watching today is the windy weather.
Yeah, the drastic change that Don told us about last night arrived in a big way. These pictures came in to report it at WAVY.com from Seaford in York County. A family having to clean up some downed trees in their yard tonight.
For others, it was power problems. 10 on your side has pictures from Portsmouth, where the lights went out at several businesses along Frederick Boulevard. Dominion's outage map shows just a handful of people without power now.
And a live picture from Virginia Beach here, where the wind continues to blow hard at times. You can see the flags whipping there. Along with it, very chilly temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Don Slater has more on what to expect tonight. Don?
And we've got a few flakes of snow flying across the eastern shore. They're letting up right now throughout the region. But we expected this kind of thing with the kind of wind and the kind of cold air that we've got moving on in. Have had a couple of sprinkles across eastern North Carolina. And there are a couple of flakes of snow south of the Petersburg area right now. But we focus on what's been going on for the Middle Peninsula. You can see it driving through here and over the eastern shore where, yeah, I tend to think that we have seen a little bit of this survive all the way to the ground. You can see it between Exmoor and Nassawadox, Eastville. These flakes of snow are now moving on out to sea. So, again, that's good news there. Wind gusts, anything above 15 miles an hour. Yeah, plenty above 15 miles an hour. 33-mile-an-hour gusts right now into Norfolk. 28 miles an hour into Suffolk. And 41-mile-an-hour winds, gusts to 41 into the Melfa area. Dead-on winds around 28, 16, 17. Some of these inland areas, I think we're going to see the winds drop on off more considerably later on. Here's where things are at 7 o'clock this evening. Again, 23 mile an hour. And these are the steady winds, 25 miles an hour here. By tomorrow morning at 9, 22 miles an hour. So still a little bit of a breeze going on near the shoreline. But as the day wears along, winds become more west and then southwesterly. And that'll start to warm, and then southerly. That'll start to warm things up coming up for the weekend. But for right now, again, skies clearing off here and there into the area. We're going to see temperatures drop on down. Overnight wind, the wind drops off for most areas anywhere inland. It'll be 23 inland, 28 along the coast. It'll be a chilly day, much lighter winds for tomorrow. And then the weekend, much better news. And I'll have all of that for you. I'll be coming up in just a few minutes with a full forecast.
Our coverage of the wild weather continues on WAVY.com. We've posted more information about power outages, as well as many of your pictures from the wind.
And to say the least, we got off easy with this storm. Here's video now from across the Northeast, from Philadelphia to Boston, a big wintry mess. It caused numerous flights at airports to be canceled. So a warning now, check with your airline if you're headed somewhere tonight. NBC Nightly News will have more on this storm coming up at 6:30.
Virginia Beach police are looking for 2 people they say were involved in a police chase following a robbery in a Walmart parking lot. It started at the Walmart near Lynn Haven Parkway just before 1 this afternoon. Police say someone robbed a person in that parking lot. A K-9 unit on the scene spotted the getaway truck and tried to stop them near the intersection of Holland Road and Lynn Haven Parkway. Police followed the truck into the Green Run neighborhood. That's when the suspect hit the K-9 unit and another car. Police ended the pursuit for safety reasons. The truck was last seen heading toward South Independence near the amphitheater. Police are looking for a dirty, lifted, newer model maroon Ford F-250 truck with large tires with body damage. The truck has a Virginia license plate VRB 5677. If you've seen it, call the crime line.
A Virginia Beach dentist made a federal case out of the city's treatment of his business during a road widening project, and he won. Dr. Alan Bergano took the city to court, saying he got nothing for having to move his practice for the sake of the Witch Duck Road project. Dr. Bergano sought $475,000, the cost he said it was to move. The judge said today the city violated state relocation statutes and will award damages in this case. Still to come on WAVY News 10 at 6, school sickness. See what forced one school to completely shut down and whether it will be open tomorrow.
Plus, a push for another look at a quarter-century-old rape case. 10 on Your Side investigates, could new technology get a man out of prison? And in sports, we told you about Kenny Easley's trip to the Football Hall of Fame. Tonight, he's talking with Bruce Rader about it.
And this cool down is just a bump in the road. Don has some warmer temps in the forecast as we continue this Thursday night.
What are you doing?
We're getting a facelift.
No. We're not getting a facelift on the set. We're getting a facelift of the set. I think somebody played you, Chris Reckling.
Oh.
A new look revealed on the Hampton Road Show, Monday at 11.
An embattled former mayor who became known for evading the media
Man, you got a second?
talks exclusively with 10 on Your Side.
What's next for you? Are we talking a delegate run, senator, governor?
Monday on WAVY News 10 at 6.
Start planning your next home remodeling project now. Shop the latest design trends and products at the all-new Hampton Roads Home Show, February 11th and 12th at the Hampton Roads Convention Center. Details and $5 tickets at HamptonVAHomeshow.com.
Need a light bulb? Batteries Plus Bulbs has a huge selection of LEDs starting as low as $1.16.
The one inside the clothes dryer.
Oh, you use the clothes dryer.
Visit batteriesplus.com for a store near you.
The President's Day sale is going on now at Ashley Home Store with savings up to 25% store-wide. Your choice 5-piece living room, all for just $8.99. And this 5-piece bedroom in 2 colors, all for just $5.99. Or get 5 years, no interest. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Get your tickets for Hello Dolly, coming to the Sandler Center February 24th through the 26th. Here's your chance to see this amazing musical production. Text the word Dolly to 36729 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show.
Through the years, 72 teachers from across the Commonwealth have won the Super Teacher Award from the Virginia Lottery. To nominate your super teacher, go to vasuperteacher.com. Nomination deadline February 13th. Register to win a $10,000 landscape makeover from Landscapes by Eric Bailey at the all-new Hampton Roads Home Show, February 11th and 12th at the Hampton Roads Convention Center. Details and $5 tickets at HamptonVAHomeshow.com.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Michael & Son. From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
A private school in Suffolk expects to be back open tomorrow.
It's after 6 students and staff forced the headmaster to close the school for 3 days. Suffolk Christian Academy closed Tuesday and Wednesday after about 40 kids were homesick. Now, their illnesses range from flu-like symptoms to ear infections. The headmaster tells us Wednesday that 12 faculty members called out, so she had no choice but to close school for today.
So I did have to cancel because I wanted to have proper supervision and safety in place and have the right people and the right credentials in each area at the school.
Again, Suffolk Christian will be open tomorrow.
Next at 6, a strand of doubt in a 26-year-old rape case. Could police have the wrong man? 10 on Your Side investigates next.
Then the news continues at 7 over on Fox 43. We have new information on a robbery that turned into a police chase in Virginia Beach. New at 7, hear from witnesses. That's when Deanna and I see you for WAVY News 10 at 7. That's over on Fox 43.
Superior windows, siding, and doors at an affordable price.
All backed by a lifetime warranty.
Window World of Tidewater. WAVY's experts on your side.
We love Window World. Yeah!
Another day begins in our hometown. Another day for dedicated, passionate folks working for a better tomorrow. Another day that our community's hometown bank, Town Bank, is here to help. It's what Bob Aston and the founders of Town Bank had always envisioned from the very beginning. Building a community asset where Town Bank resources and people would be dedicated to making our hometown a better home for all of us. Serving others, enriching lives.
Toyota honors the men and women who serve our country. The sacrifices made by them and their families are truly appreciated. So for everything they give, we want to give something back. Toyota and your Hampton Roads Toyota dealers would like to offer the service members and their families a $1,000 military rebate on any new Toyota. This is in addition to other current offers. And every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. Please join Toyota in saying thank you to a veteran. Toyota, let's go places.
Because footlongs are the limousines of hot dogs. We're celebrating footlongs limo style.
That's right.
Man.
That's cool. I understand that they're really awesome and worth celebrating, but I wish we were in a limo. We're just sitting in the back of my car with a limo driver in the front.
Oh, he's not a limo driver.
Who is he?
I don't know. I thought you knew him.
No, I don't know him.
Cool. Mystery.
Pair of footlong quarter-pound Chicago dog or any of our 4 flavors with tots for just $3.99. And don't forget drinks are half price during happy hour every day. This is how you Sonic.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
A horrific crime in Virginia Beach still lingers 26 years later. A 10-year-old girl was beaten, raped, and left for dead.
A year later, a 17-year-old was convicted for the crime. He's spending a century behind bars for a crime he maintains he didn't commit. Why do his attorneys believe he is telling the truth? 10 on your side, Jason Marks has been looking into this case for months. And Jason, you spoke to Darnell Phillips from behind bars.
And Anita, the only way to talk to Phillips is by phone. He's only 26 years in that very long sentence. And from the beginning, he said police have the wrong guy. Or do they?
26 years ago, a crime rocked Virginia Beach.
Yeah, this is something that was unheard of at the time frame for us in our city.
A 10-year-old girl beaten and raped. A 17-year-old arrested, followed by a jury trial that hinged on one hair. A confession the suspect says he never made, and an eyewitness sketch from the victim.
Do you ever think, why me? Why is this all happening to me?
I've thought that on thousands of times. I think that all the time, right?
A speakerphone is the only way to hear Darnell Phillips' voice.
It seems as if you never know when this nightmare is going to end.
Locked away for 100 years inside Greensville Correctional Center for a crime he says he didn't commit. Inside the Virginia Beach courthouse, 10 on your side was given access to the 1991 rape trial. The transcripts describe terror for the 10-year-old girl. It was August 8th, 1990. Middle of the day, the young girl was on her bike in this park in the Timberlake area. That's when a stranger ran up and knocked her down. She was punched repeatedly and then raped.
And basically left for dead at that particular time.
The girl was able to stumble to a nearby home for help. Soon after, there was a sketch done from the young girl's memory.
And I looked over and I went, that's him. That's Darnell Phillips.
Phillips said he was in the area at the time of the sexual assault, hanging out with a friend. Two detectives interviewed Phillips for hours, but he never wavered. Sergeant Hoffman then took his turn, and within a matter of minutes.
And I told him I think that he really made a mistake at that particular time frame. It wasn't his intent to do what he did. It was just a terrible mistake. And he was shaking his head up and down in this fashion. And I said, do you agree with me? It was, yes. And I told him, I said, would you ever do anything like this again? And he said no.
Though Phillips claims his encounter with Hoffman went differently.
He came immediately into the room accusing me, calling me an animal.
The case went to trial a year later. Prosecutors relied heavily on the confession and a single hair, which at the time was thought to be from Phillips. The young girl testified that the person in the photos looked like Phillips, though she wasn't sure. She did, though, recognize the Chicago Bulls hat Phillips was wearing at the time of his arrest. The jury came back.
Found guilty, sentenced to 100 years. In my horror, I said, Judge, please, I didn't do it.
26 years later, there's renewed interest in his case. Attorneys from Virginia's Innocence Project, who look at potential wrongful convictions, believe the wrong man has been behind bars all this time.
I found it pretty incredible that this case ever got to trial.
In the 1991 trial, an expert testified the single hair found on the girl was put under a microscope and appeared similar to Phillips' hair. 10 years later, the hair was tested for DNA. The results came back, and it didn't belong to Phillips, though to this day, it hasn't matched anyone else.
But once the only physical link that connected him to this attack was undermined, it was really difficult to see how or why a court refused to grant relief.
Phillips' attorney also points to the confession. There was no video or audio proof, no signed affidavit from Phillips, no notes from Hoffman. He was the only one in the room other than Phillips at the time.
You believe he's innocent?
I do. I wholeheartedly believe he's innocent.
Do you still believe today this is the man who committed the crime?
Oh, absolutely.
So you think at some point you're going to get out?
I do believe that. I do believe that.
Now, just a couple of months ago, the Innocence Project requested evidence from the victim to be sent to several labs in California. Phillips' attorneys say those labs can look for DNA in ways the Virginia Department of Forensics can't. 2 labs have come back with nothing, and now everything rests on the 3rd lab. If that comes up empty too, the only move for the Attorney General or the attorneys would be to ask the governor for a pardon. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
We've just received breaking news on the travel ban executive order. A federal 3-judge panel has ruled not to reinstate the president's ban on travelers from 7 Muslim-majority nations. It's coming from the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals, just coming in now. NBC Nightly News will have more on this at 6:30.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
And we've had a few flakes of snow during the late afternoon hours, especially across the Middle Peninsula and the Eastern Shore. Here's what's going on. They're tending to wind on down for now, but we could still see a few more. And it's likely that we're not going to see, it's not likely that we're going to see anything that's covering the ground. There could be a little bit on the grass into parts of Northampton County. I'll show you where things have been going on. We had a couple of sprinkles into eastern North Carolina and near the state line in Virginia. And we're now seeing a couple of stray snow showers show up into the Petersburg area, right on through here. So we could see a little bit more of this during the evening. But some of these darker blue colors, again, we could have seen enough cover the grass into some of these areas north of Cape Charles toward Eastville, but it's moved on off pretty quickly. And it's not likely to do anything to the roads because of the fact that the wind is so strong that any snow that falls, it's moving horizontally, so it's not going to stick on the roads, but it could stick with the blades of grass. With the blades of grass, it gets stuck on the blades of grass. The storm is moving on away. It's on up off Cape Cod right now and continuing to move on up toward the Canadian Maritime provinces. You see these dark blue colors, so there are bands of very, very heavy snow that have gone up into there today. Now, I'm going to let this run one more time there because there's, again, you can see the snow that's going on or it has gone on over the eastern shore. But also right there, that's the cold front that dropped down through this morning at around 8:30, and kaboom, the wind hit, the temperature dropped this morning. The rain pretty much came to an end. Now, we've still got wind at 7 o'clock tonight. I've left all these wind streamlines on through the area, and a flake or two of snow is still possible overnight, but nothing big. Tomorrow morning, the wind drops off and temperature drops off 28, 29. Yeah, near the shoreline, 22, 23 degrees, though, coming up in the inland locations by tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow during the day, temperature's pretty uniform, 40, 41, 42 degrees. We've got a southwesterly breeze, much, much lighter, and that's going to start to really warm things up. Really overnight tomorrow night, it's not going to drop big time through the region. In fact, it will start to warm up towards Saturday morning, really warm up during the day Saturday. This is our Saturday afternoon, well on up into the 60s through the area. So there's where we are by Saturday evening at 7. Now we'll take you on into the rest of the weekend. One more day, Saturday evening at 7 into Sunday morning. We start out mild, and we stay very, very nice and mild through the day coming up during the day on Sunday. So, again, it's going to warm on up, but it's going to be cold tonight, chilly during the day tomorrow, a lot less wind, and then we'll see, again, temperatures really warm up for the weekend. Our tower camp has evidently been affected by that wind. It's kind of blinking on and off. Temperatures upper 30s to around the 40-degree mark. Anita will be climbing that tower in between the newscasts tonight and repairing that. She's out here with the screwdriver already. She's going to fix that. Temperatures right now, again, 37, 38, 40, 41 degrees into the region right now. Inland areas will drop on down into the low 20s overnight, 23, 24, 25. Inland temperatures drop off more. It'll be 28, 29 near the shoreline. There's where we are for the peninsula, 24 to 26. Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, Eastern Shore. It's going to take a lot longer for the wind to drop off to the Eastern Shore. Not much wind tomorrow, though. 43, 64, then 72 on Sunday. So, again, we got some cold weather to live through, then warmer for the weekend.
Old Dominion with a tough road game tonight against the best team in Conference USA. And Ken Easley talks about his upcoming induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The Sports Wrap is next.
Come see us at Willis Furniture during our store-wide winter sale where you'll find special savings throughout the store. For a limited time, all 13 Tommy Bahama furniture collections are 50% off. All Stickley is on sale. Choose from bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, and great accent pieces. Handmade mattresses are on sale. A large selection of area rugs are marked down. The Willis Furniture Winter Sale. It's a great time to decorate. Stop by Willis Furniture today during this special sale.
Hambone, Sally, 22, hut, hut.
Tiki Barber running a barber shop?
Yes!
Surprising.
Yes!
What's not surprising? How much money David saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Who's next?
What are you doing?
We're getting a facelift.
No. We're not getting a facelift.
on the set. We're getting a facelift of the set. I think somebody played you, Chris Reckling.
Oh.
A new look revealed on the Hampton Roadshow, Monday at 11.
An embattled former mayor who became known for evading the media
Man, you got a second?
talks exclusively with 10 on your side.
What's next for you? Are we talking a delegate run, senator, governor?
Monday on WAVY News 10 at 6.
These machines can make, freeze, and ship 70,000 biscuits an hour. Our machine can only make 50 an hour. The made-from-scratch chicken filet biscuit, 2 for $3.50, now at Hardee's.
Last night, we talked about local football stars Ken Easley's big weekend at the Super Bowl, and tonight we hear from the future Hall of Famer himself. I'm Bruce Rader. One of the greatest defensive players in college and NFL history will finally get his due when Ken Easley will be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this summer. A 5-time Pro Bowl safety and NFL defensive player, he was an All-American at Oscar Smith High School, a 3-time All-American at UCLA, and the number 4 pick by the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL draft. He had been waiting for several hours in a Houston hotel room on Saturday, awaiting word on whether or not he would be selected after being nominated by the Veterans Committee. Finally, the knock at the door came.
The knock comes at the door. And my daughters, who were in the room with me, says, that's got to be the knock. Knew instantly that this was what I was waiting for. And all of this, the anxiety, all of the stress, 20 years of waiting for this to happen just rolled off of me. And man, it was like I was in Disneyland.
What a career he had. Now, Ken and I had a lengthy talk last night touching on everything from his high school days as to why he picked UCLA over Michigan and, of course, his NFL career. You can check it out. Go to wavy.com and click on sports. College basketball, Old Dominion will have its hands full tonight when the Monarchs travel to Murfreesboro to take on Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee has only one conference loss this year. They're pretty darn good.
Anybody that's paid close attention to Middle Tennessee understands that they can compete with virtually anybody in that top 25. I think Middle Tennessee might be the best team that I've seen in Conference USA in the last 4 years.
Offensively, ODU has one of the worst shooting teams in all of college basketball, but they have the 36th best defense in the country. How will they do tonight? I'll have highlights at 10:45 on the Fox 43 Sports Wrap. Former Knicks star Charles Oakley said he didn't do anything wrong and should not have been ejected from last night's Knicks game against the Clippers. Security guards tried to escort Oakley from his seat. He pushed them away and was arrested for assault. Some say Oakley, who played at Virginia Union, was yelling at Knicks owner James Dolan, who was sitting a few rows in front of him. Oakley says that did not happen. I'll talk more about that tonight. So, North Carolina taking on Duke, a big night of college basketball. I'll have all the scores and highlights tonight at 10:45 on Fox and here at 11.
Can't wait to hear more about that.
One more look at the weather.
Yeah, wind drops off inland. It'll still remain up along the coastline. 23 inland, 28 for a low along the coast. Cool day tomorrow, warmer weekend.
NBC Nightly News is next.
Be here tonight.